QKZs are pretty popular in this channel. I have covered around 3 QKZs, but definitely I would want to explore more QKZs because my QKZ videos are pretty popular. So there might be a lot of fans of QKZs in general. And now this is the most requested QKZ. This is the VK4. This is an IEM kind of design and around $10 only. Very nice price. And right off the bat, I really like the sound in this. So that's why maybe it's one of the most requested because this really punches above its weight in terms of sound. But of course, let's look at what you get in the box first. So you have VK4. It's a 0.75mm pen type, 3.5mm plug, 20 to 40 kHz, 16 ohm impedance. So actually in terms of the box, it's very different compared to your usual QKZ. Okay, so this is your usual QKZ, very different. So maybe the manufacturer here is different. So you get usually this kind of plastic design. I'm gonna review all of these soon. A lot of QKZs in the channel, and also box wise it's very KZ in packaging, so maybe they changed the manufacturer compared to the previous QKZ. So looking at the IEM, it's actually a looker for me. It has that IEM kind of shape, and it also has that carbon fiber kind of design. You have the QKZ logo, which is actually I like. However, in this one the print is not so well done. Also has that gold accents, and at the other side you have that kind of KZ ZSN shape, a very safe shape. And also in terms of fit on the ear, this does go inside your ear in terms of the overall fit. And in terms of the cable, this much like your old KZs, not the new one with the more stable kind of design. Frankly, I kind of prefer this design because a lot of accessories are using still this kind of connector. They haven't shifted to the new KZ connector, so a lot of accessories will be more compatible with this version. Cable wise, much like what you get with the typical KZs, it has an L plug at the top, and also you get a plastic fork at the middle. In terms of looks, I'm okay with the looks overall. It's kind of understated in design because it has that gray kind of look. The fit on the ear is really nice. This is very stable on my ear, and that preformed ear also makes this a lot more stable on the ear. In terms of isolation, it's above average. It blocks some of the noise outside, and comfort wise this is very good. Still has some breathability on the ear. So in terms of the overall build and design, I don't have a major issue. It's just the cable for me that needs replacement, but otherwise the rest is pretty good for me. Right now, let's go to the sound in this. So right off the bat, this is the best $10 IEMs I have seen. So this is a lively sounding IEM. It's revealing. It also has some air, so it's a super duper lively sounding IEM. So right off the bat, this kind of reminds me of the Blon. They have some difference in tuning, but kind of reminds me of the Blon in a way. So in terms of presentation, this has slight smoothness, but still very articulate sound. So this has some micro detail, which is very impressive. So definitely in that price range, this is the best micro detail that I've heard. So the micro detail here is definitely more than even the ZSN Pros. So it's a V-shaped sounding earphone and has a slight bass elevation. And looking at the graph, it definitely it's a V sounding graph. It doesn't have peakiness at the top. It has a little bit of elevation in around 1 to 2K region, which makes the vocals a bit more forward in the mix. But definitely, yes, this is a V-shaped sound in a grand scheme of things. The highs are super extended and has some air, which makes this a very lively listen. However, this can be thin in some tracks, like in Sexual Healing, Marvin Gaye. The cymbals there sound a bit thin for me. Also, like in Where Have You Been, My Disco by Four of Spades, the start sequence shaker just resolves nicely. It's kind of like a lively kind of sound, kind of like a monitor kind of sound, and really revealing. And also no sibilance here at the top. So the detail retrieval is really good for me, and also revealing sound. So the highs, even if it's a bit thin for me, still really revealing and very nice highs overall. The mids resolve nicely. It's more of a lush presentation. The best mids that I've heard in that price range. Definitely in terms of presentation, it punches above its weight. Like in It's My Life, Bon Jovi, the guitars have good body and also micro detail as well. Vocal region resolves nicely. It's revealing and also lush in presentation. However, I find the male vocal region a bit recessed, actually too recessed for me. Female vocals are a bit better, but still a bit recessed. So for vocal heads, you might find this a bit lacking. But frankly, if you push the volume of the mids to good levels, this becomes a really enjoyable listen. So if it's around plus 2 dB more forward in the mids in the vocal region, this will be kind of a more perfect vocal region for me. However, even so, because of the good detail retrieval, lush presentation, still very good mids for me. One of the best mids that I've heard. Bass is in the boomy side, also prominent in the mix. punchy also, so bass heads can survive with this. That's a slight bass elevation around plus 2 dB, and also can go deep, so definitely bass is really substantial in this. The stage is above average, as well as the imaging is above average. Separation is actually pretty good on this. Like in where you have been my disco, I can hear the separation of the instruments easily. So separation gets good marks here. So let's play some tracks and I'll give you my impressions in these. So in Slow Dancing in a Burning Room acoustic, John Mayer vocals are full. It has some air, so it makes it a lively listen. Acoustic guitars resolve some picking technique and has some good energy. Very lively. It's like I'm listening to John Mayer live. In my Juliana 4 of spades, again, vocal region is nice. The Waves synthesizer in the background resolves some micro detail. However, the cymbals are a bit thin in this one, a bit less body than what I would like. Let's groove Earth, Wind, and Fire. So the vocal region is forward, again, lots of body. Separation is really good, so Earth, Wind, and Fire has a lot of instruments, and I can hear the instruments separation fine, with good imaging and average stage. Bass in the start for me though is a bit boomy, a bit slow in attack, so I would want bass to be a bit tighter here. Hand Without Shadows, Michelangelo Batio. So the distorted guitar really resolved well with some micro detail and nice body, not tinny guitars here, super good body. The lead region for me is just a bit recessed in the mix for me, too much. So I would want again that mids to be a bit more forward in the mix in this track. And that's what I like, Bruno Mars. So sometimes some bassy IEMs have a hard time with this track because this is really bassy. But this one did well for me. So of course the bass is still forward and punchy, but not too much. And it doesn't overpower the vocal region. I can still hear Bruno Mars fine with this track. Prayer, Sino Sikat. So female vocals were forward in the mix, more forward compared to the vocal region before. And the bongos and instrument separation is really nice because this is kind of a jazzy kind of tone. So yes, this works well for this kind of track. So compared to the KZ ZSN Pro, the ZSN Pro has a more kind of mellow bass, more shimmery highs, and also thinner highs on top, so more peaky highs on top. The mids also in the ZSN Pro is a bit thinner and also less detailed. The ZSN Pro is more clean in the mids and the highs in terms of the overall presentation. The VK4 for me has better mids, again, the best mids that I've heard in the $10 price range, a more forward vocal region. Less shimmer on top though, but more toned down highs, but better body in the highs overall. So overall, I do like the VK4 more than the ZSN Pro. Compared to a $20 King, the NiceHCK DB3. So the DB3 has a more forward vocal region, a more detailed vocal region also. The bass is a bit more mellow in the DB3, a bit more toned down. This has more substantial bass, but tonality is better in the VK4. So frankly, I like them both equally. So VK4 for better tonality and DB3 for a more forward vocal region. So it will be kind of up to you what you like. And also this is a V-shaped sound. DB3 is different in terms of the overall signature. So compared to the Blon 03, heavily reminds me of the Blon 03. So the Blon is more lively sounding, slightly better tonality, more revealing, and also more punchy. So it's even more lively in the Blon 03. The bass is more forward in the mix in the Blon because it has a more kind of boomy bass. It has better highs in the Blon, better body in the highs. And also the stage is bigger in the Blon. So the VK3 is actually not far off. It's very similar. It has a more controlled bass, less boom at the bottom. Actually, for some people, if you prefer kind of a less boomy bass, the VK4 might even work for you regardless of the price. So overall, of course, I still like the Blon more, but in terms of value, this has still a lot of value compared to the Blon. Price of verdict, so there's a lot to like here. So you have that IEM kind of look. You have black cable, you have the pretty good looking lobe, comfort is good, no issues in terms of the build, and of course that sound, nice mids, good separation. Bass is substantial at the bottom, kind of punchy bass but still controlled, good separation, above average stage and imaging, but really impressive speed and also response here. So in terms of micro detail, really impressive for a $10 pair, so I would definitely recommend this. This is our best $10 pair. So that is a really impressive job by QKZ. Of course, I will highly recommend this. Alright, so that is my review of the VK4. So I was really surprised with this. I didn't expect it for a QKZ because I do have other QKZs here in the channel, but it's not like this in terms of the overall presentation. Have you heard of the QKZ VK4? What do you think of them? Do you like them, not like them? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, if you have other QKZs that you want me to check out, let me know also down in the comments below. And of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And of course, if you want to get the VK4, use my links down in the description below. It will help out the channel a lot. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next